Good day to you. It's Sunday. I don't know what Vlomo day it is. I haven't got my watch on, so I don't even know what date it is. I do know that yesterday I sustained a small injury in the soft play area in Hinckley when I inadvertently ran into the safety meshing. I was getting a little bit excited. Those soft play areas do that to me. This morning, I don't know, woken in a bit of a funny mood. No, not because of drink. Seems like the tide is turning towards Twitter and the social networks as regards some of the media coverage that's coming out at the moment, and it was all fun and interesting. Oh, look, somebody's tweeted that. Oh, look how news is disseminated through Twitter. Oh, da 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 da. But maybe the press is suddenly feeling vulnerable, suddenly realising that a lot of people are communicating and linking to one another and sharing information in other ways other than the newspapers. I must admit, this morning I got a lot of news out of my feeds, but I was also using certain apps on the iPad over breakfast, just browsing what was going on. So for me, the mainstream media, as we know and love to call it, still plays a big part in my life, although I'm finding myself, thanks to ridiculous campaigns against Twitter people like the one against Baskers at the moment from the Daily Mail and now the Independent, finding myself mentally boycotting. It's easy to boycott the Daily Mail. I've never bought a copy in my life, but the Independent, occasionally, if there isn't a Guardian, will buy an Independent because they've published photos and stolen photographs off me in the past, but also published and paid for photographs that I've taken in Iraq and such like. So now I'm just going to have to completely ignore any of their websites and any of their newspapers due to lazy ass journalism. If there's no news, as you put it, coming through your own email or your own channels, go out and look for it. Don't just start trying to dig up crap on individuals using a platform that you still don't understand, because it's just a waste of our time. It's a waste of your time. It's making you look like some cheesy tabloid, and then it affects people's lives. Baskers' life, what's going to happen, to her job? I'm hoping that her employees are switched on enough to at least realise some of the truths that were talked about in Paul Clark's blog post, when he talks about how you got to remember that this isn't your normal transmission of information. People have to subscribe. I didn't have a clue what Baskers did for a living, but I've been following for a long time now, and to assume that I pay attention to absolutely every single tweet in minute detail and start trying to work out and look for who and where she works, and no, it's 99% entertainment. The rest of the percentages, are going to be valuable information. 99% entertainment is probably a bit much. Infotainment, that's better. And then you've got the whole therapy for the actual Twitter user. I'm sure that she's a lot happier at work being able to air her personal opinions in her own time when she can. I mean, this is just another communication channel with friends. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that I'm even beginning to tackle such a hardcore subject at this time in the morning, when my head is full of nothingness and the sound of the motorway you can probably hear in the background, and over here a babbling brook, which is slightly nicer than the roar of the motorway. But yes, if more and more newspapers start jumping on the bandwagon, then I think there's going to be a slightly larger social media campaign against the old guard, against the old ways of the press, and you don't want that. Can everybody just get on and start thinking about really important stories? There's people dying in the world. There are wars constantly happening in the world. We're facing financial catastrophe, and maybe we could be looking into that a little bit more instead of the personal attacks. That'd be nice. Anyway, dog's waiting for me. patiently as ever, heading off into the woods.